Just while we're getting started, just a little mind thing for you. What does YES spell? It's not a trick question.
What does YES spell? Yes.
Okay. What does LESS spell?
Less.
What does MESS spell?
Mess.
What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Eyes.
You're in the small percentage. A lot of people
What do people say?
A lot of people have been saying ES.
ES. Oh, because it's straight after yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
But you didn't, so well done.
I'm pretty smart.
Yeah, that's... I say it's like a top... I've never understood that. Like, the top 1% of what?
Yeah.
The world or 100 people?
Yeah.
Because you're just one in 100.
What's the sample size?
Yeah, you're just 1 in 100. You're fine.
You're still a massive piece of crap. Don't be getting ahead of yourself. On that note.
Let's go. Skip the beat. We're back. Episode 11. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you've had a great week. My name's Matt. If this is your first time joining us, we are a podcast loosely based on music. You might find that we're very heavily based on another topic tonight, but we'll get to that later on. Without further ado, the person I'm joined with every week. Katie, how are you?
I'm good. I would have placed $1 million bet this week that you were going to introduce this episode by saying Legs 11. I don't know why, but that was where I thought.
Some of us in life mature.
Some of us do.
Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, I would have lost $1 million on that.
That's a lot of money to...
That's all the money I have.
Just all of it.
All the money I have, just sitting around doing nothing.
Not including your house or car or anything like that.
No, that's just my spare change.
Yeah, slush fund.
Yeah, that's right.
Must be nice.
Sparesy.
How have you been?
I haven't crashed my car this week, so that means the week's 100% better than last week, doesn't it?
I did have on here, I needed to ask you how your, I've called it the RYD, the Repair Your Dream. How's it going?
Well, I won't really know until Wednesday. That's when she's booked in for her assessment. So I'll be able to let you know next week what the damage is and whether we are using insurance or...
So you get to make the call then, do you?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Yep.
I do, because we don't know how much it's going to be. So less than $800, I'll pay for it myself. More than $800, we'll see. Will depend. Yeah.
I had a look at it. We still need to put some photos up because you and I have done both the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll try and do that in the next couple of days before this episode drops. But yeah. I had a look. You did a decent effort.
I've done a few panels. Be interested to see if they think they can bang it out or they need to replace. I don't know what they do these days.
Look, I'm coming from being absolutely nothing to do with a mechanic whatsoever with my experience around cars. But I would be shocked if that cost equal or less of $800.
Same. I would be shocked too, because nothing costs less than $1,000 these days, it seems. Yeah. Anything house-related, trade-related.
Should we do like a little... Because you'll know by next episode.
Okay,
I'm just give me a second.
Oh, yep, okay. Little Gesky.
Can I have a window? Like a $500 window?
No, just give me a number.
Okay, it's going to be 3872.
Holy, you reckon that much?
Yep, 3872.
Okay, I'm going to say 1,950.
Okay.
Let's see how we go.
All right. What did I say? 3872.
Yeah.
Like you just back.
We've recorded that, so we'll be fine. We'll be able to remember that. So, yeah, that's been my week. Went up the Sunshine Coast on the weekend, went to a wedding. Beautiful.
Yeah. Called the bouquet.
As per usual, I am an athlete, after all. Took out a few people on the way through. Grabbed that sucker.
Okay.
Thankfully, there was none of that palaver there. I just got to sit on a farm and drink delicious wine with my wonderful family. It was great.
Lovely.
Any pod news from you? Did you get any feedback this week?
No, I didn't actually. Should I be expecting some? I didn't.
No, just asking.
Because we dropped a little bit later this week. It came out on a Friday morning, and I think just the normal early spike that you get was averagely just a little bit better.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if we just do that the same this week. It's a Friday morning
we might be
drop.
a Friday release now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I had a little bit of feedback at the wedding from some family members I haven't seen for a long time who had Skippys, who I didn't know about.
And
a couple of the cousins didn't know, and like big props, big props.
Give me some names, because I know most of your family.
Skippy Sam Ware was very keen to.
Nice.
He said, I was going to send you a message, but I really wanted to tell you face to face.
Okay.
Loving the pod, loving your theme songs, loving the sound of our voices, loving the stories. Just happy to hear.
Not loving the puns. Cool. I was waiting for it.
Puns didn't come up, but doesn't mean he's not loving.
Fine.
I suspect there's a touch of the Annie in Sam Ware. I suspect that he might have a bit of a soft spot for you, and so that
always got along with Sam well.
Yeah, so that was great. I just had a couple of fact checks that I wanted to quickly mention.
Yep.
Just thought it was worth noting. We had a bit of a conversation during last week's ep about what band Ronan Keating was in during music quiz of the week. We said New Life, we said Westlife, and
Let's hang on, pump the brakes. There was no we in that. You mentioned a church, then Westlife.
No, you said Westlife.
Did I?
Yeah, you corrected me by saying Westlife.
Apology. No, he was actually in 5.
He was actually in Backstreet Boys. No, he was actually in a band called Boyzone, we found out when we were editing. And neither of us were particularly ashamed that we didn't know that.
Sorry, Skippy Ronan.
But we did know that he was, I did know that he was singing the song that you thought was a Boys to Men song. But I thought it's not too bad. Boys to Men, Boyzone. Like there's some sort of synchronicity there in the back.
I want to know if it was like that when
brain.
You Say Nothing at All track that we found when we were listening to Apple Music, when we were trying to do a little bit of research editing.
You want to know what?
Well, Ronan Keating did his big song with When You Say Nothing at All.
Yes.
But that prior to him doing that as a solo artist, it was a Boyzone song.
Yes.
So it was a different recording. Now, I think we won't know until after this, but I want to do this. I've just had this brain moment.
Okay, yep.
I wonder if that, I can't remember the song now that I was singing.
You say it best when, the Backstreet Boys. The one that you thought was Boys to Men.
Yeah.
It was You Say It Best When You Say Nothing.
No. That's what I've just been talking about.
Was it? Oh, gosh.
This is great content.
No, I can't remember what it was either.
Well, we can go back and listen, but I just want to see if it was both a Ronan Keating recording or whether Boyzone did it as well, and that was what I was thinking of, and I got the
you got the Boyzone and the Boys to Men. That was well, that's what I wondered.
Perfect
if there
content.
was a bit of something there. But having said that, you couldn't even remember the name of the band was Boyzone, so it would have been a subconscious little moment you were having. But yeah, I thought we just needed to apologise for that. I just personally wanted to apologise for the fact that at some point when you were talking about your Kathy Freeman moment, I talked about the race called the Stall Gift, and I said Stall Gift. I think we calculated 4 times in less than a minute. And I just kept saying it. Oh, it was the Stall Gift. Oh, it was the Stall Gift.
Yeah, she did great. It was the Stall Gift.
Yeah, and
they did, it was... Yeah, it was like she had a handicap in the Stall Gift. It was great. They gave everyone.
I said it over and over again, and it sounded like absolute balls in the pod. So I just wanted to issue an apology for that. Yeah. How did your golf round go on the weekend?
It was on my list of things that happened. I worked out from my score. I did woeful, absolutely woeful.
Well, that's a surprise to precisely no one.
First hole disaster. Second hole got a par. So I thought, this is great. I've bounced back. I think I got 11 on the first hole. Mm-hmm. Absolutely charming. Par 4. It's brilliant.
Beautiful.
Brilliant.
What is a 7-over called these days?
It's called a Matt Green, I think.
Yeah.
Got a
custom shot.
Got a par on hole 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, I reckon it was the putt of my life. I was from, everyone that's watching can't even see this, but I reckon I was putting from here to my kitchen bench. A decent.
That's a long range putt.
I was just off the green.
Yep.
Just off the green.
That'd be a 10-metre putt, we're talking?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, at least.
Yep.
And I think if you're a professional golfer, a lot of professional golfers probably would have done a little chip to get a bit closer. Maybe. I don't know. I went for a putt, went in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how you've seamlessly placed yourself above a professional golfer there. I love it.
No, by saying I didn't do what a professional golfer would do. Did the opposite.
Because you're in a little bit of the rough, were you?
No, just off the green. So it's like on a little bit of a...
Just sort of, it's where the fade, where the green fades into a longer hairstyle.
Slightly darker green.
Yeah.
So, look, it was great. Had a lot of fun. 4 of us played, 3 guys that I work with who are all extremely better than me. And one of them is or 2 actually, are very, very, very good golfers. But yeah, it was a fun day. I worked out at the end how much a swing I get just for value for money.
Yes.
So put it in perspective, I'm not sure if he's Skippy, but Skippy Chris, who played, he's a very good golfer.
Yep.
He's very good. He gave me some little coaching bits of advice throughout, and it worked.
Yep.
And we worked out that, look, he's roughly, for how much it cost, he's roughly about $1 a swing that he gets. I think he got 78 or 79. It was about that amount of money for the round with the cart.
Okay.
I'll let you work out in your mathematical brain what my score was, but I worked out I was about 59 cents a swing.
A few moments later.
So you more than doubled his score. Is that what you're trying to say?
I have a feeling I was 135.
135,
which is
okay.
just significantly woeful.
And that was for 18 holes,
18 holes.
Not 50 holes.
Well done. Yeah, we didn't go around twice.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
I get good value for money.
Yeah.
So yeah, for some reason, a lot of people say this, like, why on earth do you keep doing it? It's just something like, because you just, like, each hole, I'm just able to clear my head and go, right, I got a bit frustrated on that. Let's just go again. We've got a fresh hole. Let's go. And
Stop saying fresh hole, but carry on.
Have another crack. And but that 11 that I started with, I had 2 double-figure holes in the round. The first one. Then the one that was the worst, which is quite comical actually, a little par. I think it was a par 5. I had 16 on it.
Yeah, that's a rough.
I ended up
rough.
I had a great shot, but it bounced, rolled a little bit further than I wanted to, into a pond. So drop, you get the penalty shot. Pitch, missed it, into the pond. Drop, pitch, over. Then in the rough, out of the pond into a drain pipe. Drop, then into a bunker. Bunker, back into the bunker. Then
the old bunker to bunker shot, hey?
Bunker to bunker.
Beautiful.
I worked out I had 12 shots in the bunker.
Brilliant.
Around the entire
Well, that's
18.
a great practice round for you. Yeah.
And then out of the bunker, I got really angry and topped the ball. So it went way over, bounced over a road into someone's front yard, which is, of course, then a two-drop penalty. So, yeah, 16 on the
Why
worst.
is that a 2-drop when it's in someone's yard?
Went out of bounds. Apparently out of bounds is a 2-drop penalty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't write the rules. Didn't write the rules. I just had to take it. So I went out of bounds twice. So that was 4 points just like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm a woeful golfer, everyone. If you haven't picked up, one of the worst people you will ever play with. But look, I'll definitely bring some comedy and laughs.
And then you did get a bit angry though, you were saying. So it wasn't really even that fun when that stuff happens. You don't manage to have a laugh in the moment.
Oh, definitely. I just remember one hole where I teed off quite well and was really happy, but then couldn't find my ball. And I was like, I thought it's probably just rolled off into the, like, down into the rough. And so I ended up dropping a ball, like taking a drop with a new ball, and connected really nicely. So for my third, basically, tee off, the drop. For my third shot, I was in a really, really nice position to just, hopefully chip up onto the green. But after I took that, walking back to the cart, I saw my ball.
Oh, no.
And so then I was like, well, I've got to take that. And then that turned I just mishit it. It went down into the rough.
So you went back and continued the hole.
It turned into, I think, an 8 or a 9 shot hole. And it was just like, I was furious because I was just like, this could have been like a 4 or a 5 hole for me. And it's just another 4 or 5 shots over.
It's the ups and downs of that sport.
But I'm looking forward to going out and playing again.
Yeah.
Can't get
Weirdly,
but only the second time I've played St. Lucia. So, I can't get too hard on myself. There was some good shots I had.
Yeah, okay.
But out of 135 shots, surely a few of them have to be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, golf chat.
Golf chat, amazing. Well, there's a sporting theme that's going to come through. The other question I had for you, the question that's on, I'm pretty sure, everyone's lips, is, did you buy a welding helmet from Aldi this week?
I did not.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. Righto. Well, that's a shame.
What did I buy? I bought a couple of things from Aldi because I don't do a big shop there. I'm just not a fan of. I'm a fan of everything that they do except for kind of their fresh. I've never had a good fresh produce buy.
Okay.
Or definitely breads or stuff. Anyway, so I got them elsewhere, but I went to just get a few little filler bits. This is great content. Nappies and sorbet.
Excellent.
But yeah, I saw the welding helmets.
And what did you get for the rest of your family?
Yeah, well done.
That's what the people come for, Matt.
Comedy. Music pun of the week going to you.
That's right.
Now, we are a podcast which is loosely based on music, which means we can sometimes be heavily based on other things.
That's right.
And as we all know, we are right in the first third of the Summer Olympics. 2024 Paris. I feel there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
First question is, have you been watching a lot of it?
I have. I love the Olympics. I've always loved the Olympics. I did a subject in my degree at university that was all about the Olympics, so the history of the Olympics. I love the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And yet every time they come around, I somehow forget how much I love the Olympics. But yeah, I can just reinforce that I still really love the Olympics.
Me too.
And I also have a fairly significant history of insomnia. So I've been enjoying just having some company for that insomnia brain. I've been up since very early this morning watching the Matildas.
They got that win.
What was one of the most insane games I've ever seen?
There was something like 11 or 12 goals.
11 goals, 6-5 they got up. Yeah.
As someone who, look, I don't want to offend anyone, but soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, it's definitely down the list of sports that I enjoy. Now, I'll love the Matildas and watch. They're one of the reasons I will watch soccer.
Same here. I'm only on board since the World Cup. I'm just gone
I'm
Matilda's nuts.
Yeah.
Same.
But like that there, where it's a very high-scoring game, I'm like, that's interesting. That is great. The thing I can't... And people will say, but it's all about the skill and the tension and the hype and the not knowing. But when you can play 90 minutes of soccer and it be 0-0, I'm just like, nah, mate.
Yeah, it's a brutal sport. It's a brutal sport. The thing I love most about that game is they were playing Zambia, and I lived in Zambia for a little while working, and they are a soccer mad nation. So it was very cool to see and have some of the best players in the world that play over in the European League and stuff. Brilliant game. So yeah, I have been watching an enormous amount of Olympics. I've been catching as much stuff live as I can, but because I work from home, I've basically just got it on all day in the background while I'm working.
Well, let's go right back then to when it started.
Yeah.
The opening ceremony. Now, I've got my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. Opening ceremony, just as a, let's just say, we like doing this. I like doing it. Out of 10.
It's hard to go out of 10. It was whack.
It was weird, right?
Like, it was real whack. But I kind of loved it.
So you don't have any thoughts? Because I've got quite a few that we're going through. Overall, I thought it was good. It was different.
I mean, I just have the one overwhelming thought, which is just, I'm sure, what we'll both share at some point, which might bring
on a high,
which might bring some music back into this podcast. But you go for it. Overall thoughts of the ceremony?
Well done, Paris, for thinking outside the box and being different. First time ever it hasn't been within a stadium. The boats down the river. I thought, okay, this is good from a televised.
It was made for the TV audience, I felt.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I was there, if I'd paid the money to go, well, I think you would possibly know ahead of time that you're not going into a stadium.
You're seeing this portion of something.
But I'd write it off. Like, this is awful. Like, I don't get to see, unless there were big screens everywhere, but still just like, well, what's the point? Like, there's nothing happening like a stadium. So I thought, that's a big call to make. Good for a televised opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Bit woeful for people actually that were spectators there on the ground.
Yep.
So that was the first little letdown. I thought there was a few, and I'm going to touch base on the musical side of things.
Yep.
Absolutely loved the cover they did of Imagine by John Lennon. I thought that was very, very beautifully done. Even just the set that they were on with the fire going around the piano and stuff. Very, very well done. I'm a fan of Lady Gaga.
Yep.
Didn't rate it.
Didn't love it. Okay.
Obviously a fan of We Know Who that finished the night out. We'll get to that. It's its own separate category.
She who need not be named just yet.
But yeah, look, overall, I was a bit 50-50. There was a lot of things I really liked, and I thought, well done, they've done really well, and they've been creative with how they have done things. The other half, I'm just like, oh, you've gone a bit too...
A bit too French, would you say?
Yeah, or just, I don't know. I don't know if I can say the words on this podcast, but I just thought a few bits were just, okay, you've gone maybe a bit too... You've tried to be too different. Don't be too different. Like, just, there's a tradition. I'm a traditionalist. I like it.
You are a little conservo. You're a sentimental man. My overwhelming thought just was it was just incredibly French. And so I'm surprised at how many people thought it was so unexpected, because it was just so it was such a French thing to do for me.
Yeah.
And so I liked it. The thing that surprised me, and so you've mentioned Lady Gaga, and I thought with all of the, the final dozen or so flame bearers that we got to see, I was incredibly surprised at how many not French people there were involved in the whole process.
Yes.
Because I can't recall one not Australian person that participated in our opening ceremony. So it blew me away. There was not French people absolutely everywhere, but it was incredibly French, but it was also sort of this seemed like quite a unifying type thing that they were trying to do with that as well. So
I got thrown a little bit after they had like the official ceremony, and then like Nadal shows up.
Yeah.
And then off, and they're like back on the river again.
Yeah.
And like up the river again.
Yeah.
With
it was quite the ordeal through then to the...
But just like, it's just like they were gone for ages. And again, I'm just like, everyone that was then there camped at the Eiffel Tower, kind of like, okay, what's happening? Like there was some person dancing to a... like when you were there, for the TV, it was a great light show.
Yeah.
I saw some great TikToks and reels in the last couple of days being like, here's the reality of what the world saw.
Yeah.
And someone sitting at their seat, like on a degree, like down the river a little bit from the Eiffel Tower, and they just, like, all they could see was just tiny little dots down the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, right.
Because they can't see anything.
They missed that laser show,
so
the actual...
Like, so it's just like for most people... that weren't watching on the TV, it's kind of like, what is this? Because that took, like, it just seemed like forever. It was like 15 minutes or something before.
It was a long time
to get up there.
It was a long time. But then how good was the lighting of the cauldron when it happened?
Amazing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So good.
Up it goes.
Probably one of my favourite in memory.
And
so good.
The oldest living
Olympian. That was cool.
And just
that
sitting there in his wheelchair.
Cool.
That was amazing. And also how many Paralympians they had running with the torch as well.
Yep.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think just coming back to, I don't know, there's just that feeling where all the athletes are together in the stadium and it's like they come through and they're just all there.
I think the reality is, though, the opening ceremony often, like, a very small percentage of the athletes are actually there. The closing ceremony is more where
the party.
You'll expect them to all be there together. I felt a bit sick in my stomach at all of these world-class elite athletes standing out in the rain for so long. It made me very uncomfortable.
I thought, Jessica Fox,
don't
you catch a cold.
This isn't worth you losing your gold medal, Jessica Fox. You take care of yourself, lady. I was like, wow, that is like a big decision that they have made to be
and that would have been
part of that.
Big project management task, like just the amount of boats getting people on and up and down.
Yeah.
Just, I'm assuming, I don't know what I have no idea what it cost France to put that on, but I'm assuming it's it's in the billions, I would say.
I have no idea. I don't know. It was wild. It was super wild.
But look, I sit basically in the middle, 50-50. There was a lot of things I liked, a lot of things I was like, oh.
Yeah. There was nothing I was like, oh, I really loved it from my view. I thought the Eiffel Tower at times almost made me cry, like just with the lights and that was maybe where my bit of sense. Seeing so much of Paris, I think, in it.
Oh, there's a lot of history.
Super
a lot of the
sentimental
old buildings.
for me.
There was an opera singer singing off the top of one of the... Just like, this is crazy. Like the heritage of what... the history that's there. And there's so many different landmarks, not just the Eiffel Tower, like how they ran through the... Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Around the Louvre.
Yeah.
We could keep listing.
Yeah, we could. French Paris landmarks. The Marie Antoinette, like, blood fireworks show. I thought that was pretty wild. I don't know.
So, yes, they kicked off and, I watched the full repeat of that. Basically, what had happened is I came down early enough on Saturday morning just as the Celine moment started. So I was like, what a perfect time to turn this on.
Yep.
And look, I looked like someone who had been chopping onions.
Yeah.
It was just, for me, I was like, you have not performed in what was like something crazy, like 4 years or something, right? Like
4 or 5 years. I thought it was 2019. They said 4 years in the broadcast, but I thought it was 5 years. Yeah.
You're probably right.
I would know.
The only thing that I got a little bit dampener about with Celine was the amount of people that, now again, you don't believe everything you read on social media, but apparently she charged, it was $2 million. $2 million or €2 million, 2 million something, which doesn't matter what it is. It's a lot of money.
Yep.
For that performance.
Twice my savings, I think, is what we've learned from
yes.
tonight's episode.
But the people saying she doesn't need to charge that. Little did they know that if they read the post, if it's not 100%, it's very close to all of it. She's donating to research for stiff
stiff syndrome. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm just like, come on, guys, just do your...
Yeah.
And also, even if she didn't,
It's
when
her
you're someone
job.
like her,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you can get $2 million for singing one song
Yeah.
on level 5 of the Eiffel Tower, well done.
Yeah,
But
I had not read any of that press. That's
I saw
super
a little
interesting.
bit. That was just new today.
Yeah.
Just coming out as kind of reviews on
My
the
question
performance.
around all of that stuff then is, well, what is an appropriate amount then for someone to charge? If she charged $500,000, would you be okay with that, or would you still?
Or do you just expect her to
it's
do it
still,
for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. That's
I
a
didn't
whole
see
other
any of that
conversation.
press. So, yeah. Basically, like that moment for me, same. I mean, we obviously messaged each other like literally within seconds of it finishing.
You saw me typing, and I just had these love hearts come in.
I was in our chat and I could see you typing,
And
so
was
I
like,
put
I've
love
just
hearts
been
in first.
Just chopping some onions for breakfast, Wallace.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Yeah, I wept hard. I thought the doco made me weep. That performance, I'd love to know some of that footage that we saw in the doco of her trying to sing, how long ago that actually was. Like, was it 12 months ago, or because they obviously had to then edit and everything before the doco came out. She sounded great.
Flawless. There was just the notes, the vibrato
It was her
in
tone.
her voice. It was everything was. I'm like,
It was Celine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been through nothing.
Yep.
That's what it sounded like.
And I don't know if that's all she's got now, and she couldn't do that for another song. Like, if that really, was it.
Can she do an hour and a half concert?
She certainly didn't hit like a big dog note, but she hit some decent notes. Like, she hit some decent notes with full belt. And I absolutely, it broke me. It absolutely broke me.
It was brilliant.
Seeing her
absolutely
standing
brilliant.
there.
It was by far the best thing of the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Like France, well done. Paris, well done.
Yeah.
You have finished on an absolute high there.
Yeah.
You could not get better than that, in my opinion, as an ending. And just the setting, like as you like the Eiffel Tower, it's just there. Like,
it was wild.
What a
And the thing I also liked about it was that we knew it was coming. So you knew she was going to sing, right? Had you seen the news in the lead up? So what I loved was, I think for me that added like this tension for the whole thing, because when's it going to happen? And I thought it was sort of brilliant of them to not have it as a full surprise.
She's going to pop out of one of those where the females were popping up out of the... She's just going to be...
I just thought, it was sensational. I loved it so much.
Very quickly,
Yeah.
just going through Australia, how we're going.
Yes.
Up until first up this morning, for all of day one and the majority of day two, we were sitting on top of the table.
We were.
Which, again, is brilliant for Australia, remembering that per capita, 25 million people
Killing
in our
it.
country. And amazing. So our goal as of now, so this is for where we're watching, it's the start of day 3, our time right now. I think the Kookaburras must have just finished. I hope they won.
Yep.
They were up by a goal, I think, at 3/4 time.
Brilliant.
But as of gold medals that we've won, brilliant. Night number 1 in the pool.
Wonderful.
Smashed it. We had Titmus win the 400 free.
Yep.
And absolutely just smoked her
Dominated.
competition, Ledecky.
Yep.
Because Ledecky got third.
Ledecky got third, and then Summer McIntosh in silver.
We do just have to pump the brakes because the 800 is coming, which is Ledecky's strong one. But look, it's not over till it's over. At the moment, well done, Titmus. And then the women's 400 free, which we just seem to...
The 4x100.
4x100 free.
Dominant. Yep.
Just smoked. The men got the silver.
Yep.
But I don't think we've won that since. That's always been an American win, except for when we took it in 2000 with Thorpe and
the Americans dominate those freestyle relays
Yeah.
normally. So
Crazy.
Yep.
Grace Brown.
Yeah.
I think she was the first gold.
It
She got
was. It was very early on. I saw
day one.
that. I saw that live. I stayed up late.
I watched the catch up on that.
Yep.
But for the cycling and the individual time trial, and then overnight woke up to the amazing news. I don't know if you watched it live.
I did.
You did.
Yeah. I've had a big night.
I watched it on catch up this morning, and Jess Fox. What a moment for her. She is in her 4th Olympic Games, and she in 2012 got silver, 2016 got the bronze, 2020 got the bronze, and then just persistence pays off. She got it today. For some reason, I still don't understand why she went so early and not last. Because normally your best qualifier goes last.
She wasn't the best qualified though. She had a terrible run in the semi-final. That's why.
Oh, so that was the heat. The heat she smashed.
The heat she won. Yes,
that's where I've missed.
So you missed the semis happened late at night, and then the final was early this morning.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
So
she
didn't have a great run in the semi. That's why. So it was an agonising.
Wait.
An agonising wait after that run.
What about the final to come down? To
Yeah.
hit the pole. I felt like. This is a conversation I was having with Jen. I'm like, it's amazing how all those athletes just stand up for one another and support each other.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that it doesn't matter. Like, I'm using Jess Fox as the example.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are or what country you're from. If you're sitting there, you are still surely in the back of your mind, come on, make a mistake. Just go a little bit slow. Just pump the brakes. Just come on. Just a little flick. That's all. You just need a 5-second penalty. Like, you can't tell me that's not going through their head.
I think in that sport, they're really gracious about it all. The way I've heard them all speak about it was like they obviously want to win with the best time on a clean run. They don't want to win because someone else touched it. But that's the nature of the sport.
Absolutely.
And
she needed to do the perfect run to win.
She did.
Like,
you can't win that medal without a perfect run.
And no one else was able to get the perfect run.
Yeah.
We're just explaining what first, second, or third, how it works in sports. Yeah. But I just had that moment where I'm just like, she's agonisingly there, and obviously very stoked to win gold and congratulating, the other competitors. But surely it would have to be there, just in the back of your mind, just going, if they're getting close, just give it a little.
Just give it a nudge.
Just give it a nudge.
I'm not sure
because she now completes what I call the.
She's got the Matthew Green set.
She does. And she finished on top. That's great. She's got the one of each.
It's the absolute perfect outcome for you, except she should have won bronze first up. That would have made you happier. Just straight up. But no, I was very happy when she got that gold. I was very happy to see her pick up her Matthew Green Olympic set. Did make me very, very happy.
Now, we've been talking about this for about... This has been a podcast heavily based on Olympics.
Yeah.
Just one final thing.
Yes.
Love the medal design. I thought it was very creative how they did it. The renovation they did on the Eiffel Tower back in the early 1900s, as I believe, they preserved a lot of the Eiffel Tower. I don't know if I haven't read anything on at the time whether they're like, I guess in like 100 plus years when we host the Olympics again, we'll use it for the medals. But they preserved it. They've all got that centerpiece of the Eiffel Tower. Loved the design.
Do you reckon it actually is?
Yeah, it has to be.
Has to be. They've made a big deal out of it. I hope it is. But yeah, I'm a bit like, really? Have they done that though? I don't know. I think so, probably. So,
yes. So much to go. We'll be probably chatting more about it next week when hopefully Australia's got another, in a week, how many? Another 7, 8, 9 gold in the bag?
We got Titmus and Molly O'Callaghan coming up.
That is going to be
early this morning. I think I'll be setting the alarm for that. I'm pretty sure they'll Quinella that. I'd be very surprised if they didn't.
I'm going to say O'Callaghan.
Yeah, she's got a big kick at the end. I think she's in good form, but Titmus is a racer. We will see.
Time will tell.
We will see. There's a sniff between them that you can't the semi this morning. There was an absolute sniff between them. So
just don't forget to get up.
No, I mean I'm sure I'll see a repeat 99 times. Thanks, Channel 9.
That was a shit pun, by the way, that you missed.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. We'll listen back.
That wasn't
a music
pun.
No.
It wasn't a music pun.
No.
Don't be silly.
No.
This isn't a podcast based on sports puns.
Is that Olympic stuff done? I think
it is. Let us know, Skippys, if that's too much Olympic content for you, because I feel like we're just getting started. I feel like between the two of us, we could have
looking at the board,
spent another hour on that. Yeah, but looking at the board, I'm going to change direction.
Got that done.
Only ever so slightly.
From the pouch.
Now, it's this time of the podcast where often we'll take something out of the pouch that is it's a story that's relevant to our friendship. A lot of the time it's music related, but not always. Sometimes it's about your Bell's palsy or something else like that. But I thought
the
on
Bell's
this...
palsy was still heavily related on you and how...
Yeah, but it wasn't music related.
No,
Sorry, it was what I was
gotcha.
meaning. Yeah, it was definitely to do with our friendship though. This one that I'm pulling from the pouch this week has absolutely nothing to do with you. And
what a surprise.
I don't know if I've ever told you this story before. I suspect I might have. Like, it's not a... I mean, I was just about to say it's not great, but I don't want to pretend it's nothing. But in this year of 2024 of our Lord, where we are celebrating the Olympics in Paris, I've got a semi-Olympics related from the pouch that I'd like to bring tonight, if that's okay with you.
Are you about to say, remember that time I almost made the Olympic team?
No.
Okay. I love how you had to think about that.
I think I was a bit slow to hear that. Yeah, no, that's definitely not what I was about to say, because that would just be a flat out lie.
Back to you.
I'm going to tell you a little story. Take you back to 1997. So I was in grade 12. You were a toddler. I don't know. What were you? You were in grade 7 or something, 6?
What year?
97.
In grade 5.
Grade 5. Oh, that's weird. I was graduating high school. So I was school captain. No big deal.
No
big deal. School captain at Twong State High School. And as part of being a school captain, I had to go to all these functions all the time. So we would have to go to things at like Parliament House, like morning teas, and with all the other school leaders from around the western suburbs of Brisbane. And I was at this one time, and so we'd had the Atlanta Olympics the year before, and for some reason there was some athletes there. I have no recollection why, but there were some special guests there, and they were Australian Olympic athletes. And I remember seeing one of them, and I'm like, that's a really familiar face. I recognise that face. And it took me just a moment, and I'm like, oh, that's Nikki Mott, who was a striker for the Hockey Roos. So my favourite of all sporting teams at that time. And I was so excited that Nikki Mott was in the room because they'd won a gold medal in Atlanta, and she's just one of the most prolific goal scorers Australia's ever seen. And so I thought, when I get a chance, I'm going to go up to Nikki Mott and I'm going to tell her that I love hockey and that I'm in this, I was at that time, trying to be a half decent hockey player. So I was in all these squads and things, development squads. So the morning tea ended. I make a beeline across the room for Nikki Mott, and in my, 17-year-old little anxious body, I was like, "Hi, I'm Katie, and I play hockey, and I'm in Sue McLatchey's development squad, and
I really like hockey.
And yeah, I love hockey so much, and it's so great to meet you. And yeah, and I'm in Sue McLatchey's development squad. And I just kept saying Sue McLatchey over and over again, and I could see her face was sort of just nothing I was saying was registering to her. And
please tell me it wasn't Nikki Mott.
and then the world went into sort of slow motion in my brain. I was like, oh, I recognise this person, but it's definitely not Nikki Mott. It's actually Australia's Olympic sweetheart, Susie O'Neill. And I was standing in front of Susie O'Neill just like, I'm in Sue McLatchey's development squad, and I will never forget as long as I live. Susie O'Neill looked me directly in my eyes and said, "Who's Sue McLatchey?" and I had to sort of pretend that I knew who she was all along. I was like, "Oh, it's a hockey thing," and then I just like ghosted her. I just was like, hightailed it out of this
Nikki Mott at all.
It's not. It's not. It's Nikki Knott.
Not Nikki Mott.
It's Nikki Knott. Yeah, it was Nikki Knott, that's for sure. So yeah, that's
that is brilliant.
That's my from the pouch. The time that I thought Susie O'Neill was part of the Hockey Roos, and spent a great deal of time anxiously telling her how much I loved hockey. that is from the pouch for me
done.
in this special Olympic. In this special Olympic edition.
From the pouch. Oh, well done. I can't top that because I've got to quick remember that pouch as well. This one's going to take.
Remember that pouch.
From the pouch. You've just thrown me so much. That's hilarious. Oh, that's not Nikki, not at all. Oh, Susie O'Neill.
It was Susie O'Neill.
Oh,
so
well
Skippy,
done.
Skippy Susie, as I call her.
Yeah, she's a listener, isn't she?
Yeah, I'd hope
I mean,
so.
what's she doing these days?
She's on breakfast radio, I believe.
Is she still doing that?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. We keep in touch.
Okay.
Yeah,
She remembers you.
she does.
I'll be really quick with my from the pouch.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it just. This is a big call how it's tied to the Olympics, but it's going to be tied to the Matildas versus Zambia game. 'Cause
Okay.
You mentioned you lived in Zambia.
Yes.
And I've been to Zambia.
You have.
So my from the pouch this week, it's going to be very, very quick, was remember that time you were really concerned for me when I was talking in front of a room full of doctors and tried to explain what leprosy was to them.
Yeah. That time you thought you were a medical professional when we were actually talking to a room full of doctors.
The end result was I pulled out fine.
That's how I pulled out fine.
I came through okay.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not the only one in the room worried. There was a few of us
Yeah.
sitting there.
You were up the back on full out. God, shut
Oh,
up,
God, stop
shut
talking,
up,
Matthew.
Stop. You're digging.
Stop
you're
trying to
digging.
tell doctors about diseases that they know far more about than you do. Stop, Matthew, stop. But
Got
he
through
did.
it okay. Didn't embarrass myself.
Didn't. He brought it round to a somewhat coherent point from memory and... Yeah.
And so just that's I want to keep it just at that nice little short one.
Yeah.
We're in Zambia, and I tried to tell a room full of doctors what leprosy was.
Yeah.
From the pouch. I mean,
Where to?
where to? I just had a thought. I spent all this time trying to think of a music pun. I should have done. It's the perfect opportunity to do some type of sport or Olympic pun. I didn't do it. Next week. Could be Olympic pun of the week.
Yeah.
All right, so music pun
Sorry, I
of the week
thought that
this
was actually leading into it.
week. Again, as I
I just
said-
don't know how to react
As
anymore.
I said at the start of the episode, some of us mature.
Yeah.
All right, so pun of the week this week is, what do you call a rude trumpet player?
I don't know.
A brass hole. That got a little
Okay.
giggle.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pay.
Okay,
I'll give it 5%.
5. Sure. Got that done.
Got that done. Thank you for bringing another substandard music pun of the week into my ears. I was thinking it might be something to do with a bugle. I don't know why, but that was just in my brain. So, anyway, we're pretty much done, but I've got one little challenge I'd like to throw down. And I think this is the perfect, I think I've picked the perfect thing to do that is loosely based on music and the Olympics. I'm gonna take the threads of what we've woven together tonight, and you're gonna turn it over and see a beautiful tapestry in this next task I'm gonna give you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you... Actually, I think we'll both do it. I think there's a song that I would like us both to review next week. I can't really ask you to review it because I haven't listened to it yet. But the song is... Do you have any idea what I'm about to say?
Not a clue.
No idea. Okay, so former teen pop idol Cody Swimpson released a song this week called Fly, and it was for all of his, all of the Australian Dolphin, the Australian swim team. And that, I thought that's sort of this perfect tie-in because he was a musician and then he put all that aside and has spent the last I think about the last 4 or 5 years training, and his goal was to be at these Olympic Games as a butterfly swimmer.
I had no idea. I almost asked what a Cody Swimpson was. I'm joking. I know who he is.
You didn't know he'd been swimming this whole time?
Not a clue.
He very almost made the Olympic team. He swam at the Commonwealth Games 2 years ago on the relay team. And
Not a clue.
Oh, wow. This is like a huge story. So he put down all his music to be a swimmer, and that's how we met Emma McKeon, and they're a couple.
Oh, so that's who Emma McKeon.
Yeah. Cody Swimpson.
I had this conversation. I'm like, I said to Jen through like the other day, like, who's she? She's dating someone that's kind of like well known as well, but I couldn't pick who it was.
Yeah, it's Cody Swimpson. So he was very, very huge musician in America, like huge musician, as like a Bieber in the Bieber era.
I would have said, musician, but
So he was
long
he was a very talented swimmer as a junior, just before he went into music, like national level as a junior swimmer. So but always wanted to come back to it and try and go to the Olympics. So like, speak about a guy that's just got a little bit too much talent going on.
Cody Swimpson.
Yeah. Almost. You are loving yourself sick. Loving yourself sick right now. So yeah, he very nearly made the Olympics. So he was a 100-meter butterflyer, but also I think he did the 100-meter freestyle at the swim trials, and he didn't make the final. But at the Australian swim trials, they do what's called a B final. And so he swam in the B final, and he won that race. And the time that he swam in that B final, if he had been in the A final, he would have been on the relay team, the 4x. So he would have been probably an Olympic medalist. So Cody Swimpson. So he released a song this week called Fly.
And so we've got to listen to it.
We've got to listen to it. We're going to review it together. And we're going to report back next week. Cody Swimpson's song Fly, just as a little bit of a loosely based on music / Olympics crossover edition. We'll bring our thoughts to the Skippys next week.
Lock it in.
Done. That's all I've got for tonight.
That's it, isn't it? There's nothing else on the board?
I think so. Check yourself. We're at the end of the whiteboard. Yeah.
That's it. Check yourself. Rolling credits. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your... we've got people all over the world listening to us. Many Skippys. Skippys everywhere.
Skippys coming out the wazoo.
All the best for your teams. Big all the best if you're an Aussie.
Mm-hmm.
Go the pool. I love the pool. We've got another, 5 nights or something? It's about a week, isn't it?
Yep.
Pool. Enjoy your week. As always, if you're not following us on socials, we'd love you to do that. If you're not following us on, subscribe to us, I should say, on YouTube. We'd love you to do that. And, of course, if you haven't left us a review yet, we'd really love you to do that as well. So depending on where you listen to us, if you listen to us on, like, Apple Podcasts or Spotify or... so the audio programs that stream
the audio programs. Okay, Grandpa.
Look, I woke up this morning and
what are the kids calling it? What are they calling it these days?
Back in my day, it was called the Courier Mail.
We called it the wireless back in my day.
I used to open the Australian, and that's where I would read the results of what happened last night at the Olympics. There was none of this rot that was on the TV, playback and replay. I don't know what a replay is. Sure. If you listen to us on one of the audio streaming platforms,
beautiful,
such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., would love you to drop a 5-star review. And if you're listening to us and watching us on YouTube, g'day.
Whoa.
Would love you to drop a comment and make sure you subscribe to us. That really helps with the engagement and where YouTube pushes us out to. But
amazing.
I think that's it. Enjoy your Olympic watching. We'll be doing quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
Little sleep from you this week.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get a bit more sleep, but I'm going to try and do something music related this week. I haven't been to a gig for a while, so I'm going to have a bit of a look and see what's on.
2 weeks off, mate.
Yeah. It's been a bit rough. Getting itchy.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy.
Perfect. We'll see you next week.